Look at your screen. You don't need a price tag to know which one of these objects costs a month's rent and which one costs $3. You don't need to touch the fabric, and you certainly don't need to read the label. Your brain makes a complex financial calculation in milliseconds. But how do you actually know? We like to think of luxury as something tangible. Hand-stitched Italian leather, flawless diamonds, rare Swiss watch movements. But the truth is far more manipulative. Society has programmed you to recognize wealth through an invisible visual code. It is a highly engineered language of light, geometry, cognitive psychology, and, most importantly, nothingness. Today, we are tearing down the architecture of luxury. We are going to look at the exact psychological triggers that multi-billion-dollar conglomerates use to make you willingly empty your bank account for a cardboard box and a logo. Let's start with the most expensive commodity on Earth. Space. Not real estate, but empty, unusable, terrifying space. In graphic design, it's called negative space. In the real world, it's called exclusivity. Think about the last time you walked into a massive discount store. The environment is engineered for sensory overload. The shelves are packed to the ceiling. Every single inch of retail space screams at you with bright red tags and fluorescent lighting. Buy one, get one free. It is a desperate environment. The store is begging for your attention because the profit margins are so thin they need you to buy in volume. Now, close your eyes and imagine walking into a high-end luxury boutique in Milan or Paris. The first thing you notice is the silence and the emptiness. It is mostly vast, open floor space. A $2,000 leather bag sits completely alone on a massive block of raw marble. There are no price tags. There are no promotional signs. The brand isn't actually trying to sell you the bag. They are selling you the emptiness around the bag. True wealth never shouts, it whispers. When a brand uses massive amounts of negative space on their packaging, in their store design, or on their website, they are communicating a terrifying level of confidence. They are telling your subconscious mind, we don't need to convince you, we don't need to scream for your attention. In fact, you are lucky to even be allowed to look at this. Negative space triggers a psychological response of submission. You shrink and the product elevates. But emptiness alone isn't enough to build an empire. You have to colour it. And the colour theory of modern luxury is incredibly specific, rooted deep in our evolutionary biology. Notice how cheap fast food chains and budget airlines always use primary colours: bright reds, toxic greens, loud yellows. There is a biological reason for this. In nature, bright colours signal immediate action. A bright red berry is ripe. A bright yellow frog is poisonous. Primary colours bypass the logical part of your brain and trigger instant, primitive dopamine and urgency. They say, eat now, buy now, act fast. Luxury despises urgency. Wealth is about patience. Therefore, the colour of modern luxury requires cognitive processing. It lives in deep, light-absorbing blacks. It lives in sterile, clinical whites that imply a space so clean it must be maintained by an army of unseen staff. And when ultra-luxury brands do use colour, they operate on precise, muted gradients that are mathematically difficult to reproduce on cheap printers. Imagine a hyper-specific midnight blue that subtly shifts into a cold, muted charcoal when the light hits it. These complex, desaturated tones do not trigger an immediate dopamine spike. Instead, they force your eyes to adjust. They demand your sustained attention. If a product's packaging forces your brain to work just a little bit harder to process its exact shade, you are inherently looking at a premium asset. It is an evolutionary defense mechanism against looking cheap. Then there is the silent voice of the brand, the typography. For decades, heritage luxury brands relied on heavy, complex serif fonts, the little feet at the ends of the letters. These fonts communicated history, tradition, and old money. But in the last 10 years, something strange happened in the luxury sector. A phenomenon designers call blanding. almost every major fashion house stripped away their historic logos and replaced them with identical, stark, heavy, sans serif fonts. Clean, bold, and entirely devoid of personality. Why would they erase 100 years of heritage to look exactly like a tech startup? Because the definition of ultra-luxury changed. In the digital age, where everything is noisy, chaotic, and messy on your smartphone screen, ultimate luxury is supreme legibility. By making their logos completely neutral, these brands turn themselves into blank canvases. The font is no longer the star, the product is. The bold, unfeeling typography acts as a monolithic stamp of authority. It doesn't ask to be liked, it just exists, dominating the space it occupies. But the visual code is only half the battle. To truly lock you into the psychology of wealth, the brand has to physically touch you. This brings us to the most manipulative tactic of all: manufactured friction. Cheap things are easy. They are easy to open, easy to understand, easy to acquire, and easy to throw away. A plastic blister pack takes 2 seconds to rip open. Luxury, on the other hand, is deliberately difficult. It is heavy. There is an entire scientific field dedicated to this, called haptics, the study of touch and interaction. Packaging engineers at companies like Apple or Rolex spend millions of dollars calculating the exact microscopic gap between the top and bottom of a cardboard box. They engineer a literal vacuum seal so that when you lift the lid, it doesn't just pop off, it glides. It takes exactly 3 to 4 seconds to slide open, creating a moment of forced anticipation. You are physically held hostage by a cardboard box. They add literal metal weights inside the plastic caps of expensive perfumes. Not because the cap needs to be heavy to protect the spray nozzle, but simply so it feels heavy in the palm of your hand. The human brain is hardwired to associate physical weight with significance and value. Light feels cheap, heavy feels expensive, and this manufactured friction goes far beyond packaging. It applies to how you actually purchase the item. Consider the ultimate status symbol, the Hermes Birkin bag. You cannot simply walk into a store with $30,000 in cash and buy one. They won't let you. You have to build a purchase history. You have to buy their scarves, their shoes, their plates, just to prove your loyalty to a sales associate. You have to wait months, sometimes years, to be invited into a back room where they will show you a bag. You don't even get to pick the colour. You buy what they offer you, and you thank them for the privilege. They have created the ultimate friction. They built a massive, invisible wall, but they didn't build it to keep you out. They built it to make you desperately, obsessively want to climb it. Because humans do not value what is handed to them. We value what we suffer for. We value the chase. Luxury is not a material reality. It is a psychological construct. A brilliant, terrifying, beautiful construct. It uses your own biology, your spatial awareness, and your innate desire for status against you. It is armed with nothing but negative space, desaturated colours, weighted caps, and artificial scarcity. Once you understand the architecture of this illusion, the spell breaks. You stop looking at these objects with simple desire. You stop being just a consumer being led through a maze. You start becoming an observer, watching the code execute perfectly on everyone around you. Next time, we'll look into the quiet luxury movement and explore exactly why billionaires are suddenly spending thousands of dollars to dress like they work in a hardware store. Until then, stay observant.